Welcome to Journey with the Jays, NFL Sunday edition on Real 1100 AM radio, also on TuneIn and iHeartRadio. It's Jake, it's John, it's JB, it's Spenser here to give you our picks of the week against the spread in the NFL. But before we do, guys, I just wanted to let all the listeners know what our overall records are right now. So I will start. I am in first place. My overall record after going 3-1 for the second straight week, it's 13, 14, and 1. So I'm on a little bit of a hot streak. JB, you are in second place. What is your overall record? And you had a pretty big lead on me a few weeks ago, but I've taken the lead now.
I like to come from behind. It's no fun to go out in front and stay in front. I'm 13 and 15, right below the 500 mark, so I can finish strong, like winners do. What about you, John?
Yeah, I don't know my exact record, but I do know I went.
I got it for you, John.
Yeah, go ahead, give that.
You're 9, 18, and 1 in last place.
Yeah, don't use money on me. Maybe do the opposite. Maybe reverse psychology. There you go. See, I'm gonna win you money. Just do the opposite of what I say.
So fade John.
Just do the opposite, and you win money.
Faded.
Yeah.
In gambling
speak,
you fade your
there
picks
you go.
if you think you're a terrible gambler.
I'm not much better than John. I'm in third place, but only by a little bit at 10, 17, and 1. And I pulled a John this week, and I went 0-4 on the week. It was just a wonderful
We will
week.
not let you live that down.
I don't expect to. I mean, I had multiple picks, just blow it at the end. Giants, Browns, and then the Raiders, shocked me getting killed. And Cardinals, same thing as the other three. I had 3 games I should have covered. Nope. At the end, the teams just decided, we're not going to cover it. We're not going to let it happen.
I do want to point out that everybody on this podcast picked the Lions to beat the Falcons, right? Was that the game last week?
Raiders.
I'm sorry. I get the Lions and the Raiders confused because they're both
the Raiders was
games.
An easy one.
So, yeah, everyone picked the Raiders. It was a layup, as Jake, you might have said. I was the only one to pick the Falcons. The game wasn't close. It was a Derek Carr stinker. He was awful. So I want to start there. But let's start with this Saints-Falcons game. The Saints are in Atlanta. They are 3-point favorites with Taysom Hill, I think, keeping the reins as starting quarterback. JB, let's start with you. Who do you like in this game?
I got to like the Saints, not because of Taysom Hill. I think he's good, but, it's a step back for Breeze, who's hurt. But just overall, I think that they're the better team. They're coming off a week where they were really untested out in Denver. I think that they kind of control their own destiny for home field advantage in the NFC, and this is a must-win for them to make sure that they keep a lead and get that home field advantage. This is important. Taysom Hill is going to earn his money right here to keep this team in the right position. What about you, John?
Yeah, I agree. I have New Orleans in this one, +3, only because New Orleans is overall the better team. We don't know if Julio is going to play. He didn't play last week, and the Falcons did win. But as Spencer mentioned last week, and I mentioned, the Raiders are a little bit overrated when they fly high. Then they tend to come back down to earth a little bit, kind of like the Cleveland Browns did.
The Falcons,
the Jags. That wasn't as impressive as we thought with the Browns, and then the Raiders kind of came back down to earth. So the Falcons, I think after winning a big one, they're inconsistent. I think they'll lose this one and lose big, unfortunately.
I'm kind of with you on that, kind of the riding high train. It's kind of where my logic was. You win by so much. It's a little bit unrealistic for a team as poor as the Falcons, and they're not a playoff team. Obviously, they're not a great team by any stretch of the imagination. For a team like that to sustain, what they did last week is kind of unrealistic. If this was the Chiefs or maybe the Packers, a team like that that's a playoff team, I could say, yeah, it's realistic for them to sustain winning like that, but not for a team like the Falcons. They overachieved. They had a great week. I'm rolling with New Orleans. Taysom Hill has actually been a lot better than I probably would have originally predicted. He's a very versatile quarterback, which I've said before I like. He's got the ability to run. He's got a lot of rushing touchdowns since he's taken over at quarterback. He's been really impressive. And New Orleans defense, it's not bad. They're not the best, but they're pretty decent actually. They're a solid defense. They've impressed me recently. I'm rolling with them. Spencer, who do you got?
So before we started the show, I had Saints -3. And listening to you guys talk about why you think the Saints are going to win, why you think they're going to cover, it got me to thinking. Raheem Morris is 4-2 as the Falcons head coach, and he should be 5-1. If Todd Gurley doesn't fall into the end zone, they probably win that game. I like the Falcons +3 here at home. I think that the Saints are kind of due for a bad game without Drew Brees. Taysom Hill is, he's a running quarterback. Let's call it what it is. He's not throwing the ball that much. He's like Lamar Jackson his rookie season when they did not let him throw the ball. And I just think that, we're underestimating Matt Ryan. And this is sort of like the Super Bowl for the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, the Saints are the best team in the NFC, if not, a top 3 team in the NFC. They're the 1 seed right now, right? Yeah, I think they're the 1 seed.
So if this is the Super Bowl, they'll blow a 25-point lead in this game?
It's a metaphorical Super Bowl that doesn't mean anything, which means that I think they pull it out. I think they win this game. They'll definitely cover the 3 points. I can see, yeah, JB, I saw you texted me trying to separate from you. Absolutely, I'm trying to separate from you. All 3 of you picked the Saints. So guess what? When the Falcons win, that's a game that I'll get. You guys will all lose. I like the Falcons +3. That is my pick.
You mean when the Saints win, we'll all be right and you'll be wrong?
When the Falcons
come marching in.
I was about to use the Falcons for that.
Come marching in. I want to be in that number when the Saints come marching in.
Dirty Birds, baby. I'm riding with the hometown Falcons. This is a radio show in Atlanta. Let's go. I got lucky last week. Let's get lucky again this week. Okay, guys. Let's get into our locks of the week. I will start it off. My lock of the week is the Colts -3 against the Houston Texans on the road. The Colts are 3-2 on the road this year, and that's not against the spread. That's just their record. I think they're going to make Deshaun Watson's life terrible on Sunday. I can see, they had a bad loss against Tennessee. This defense is much better than they played against Derrick Henry. And the one thing that the Texans don't really do well, that the Titans killed the Colts last weekend, is running the ball. So I like the Colts here. I think, Phillip Rivers, all their running backs, they have like 2 or 3 running backs that are great. Naheem Hines is great. What's the rookie's name? Is it Jonathan Taylor?
Yes.
Yeah, he's great too. And T.Y. Hilton has been coming alive a little bit. I like Michael Pittman, the rookie wideout for them. He's excellent. I like the Colts to cover that 3 points.
And Jonathan Taylor is back this week as well.
Right. So I like them to cover this week. JB, what do you think of that game?
Where were the Colts last week? Big game against Tennessee. Didn't show up. I mean, I think that this week they're going to do all right, but things like that are suspect. Why I really don't like this team, and the Texans, they've been playing better as of late, but I think Phillip Rivers and that running game do enough to get the W. I think the defense is better than they showed last week. They don't have to deal with King Henry. But just overall, real disappointment last week. I expect them to step up, to look alive this Sunday, and rebound really well. John?
Yeah, I agree, because Will Fuller just got popped for 6 games. So that's Deshaun Watson's best weapon. So when you take out Will Fuller, what do they really have left on that offense? Not much. I mean, Brandon Cooks is all right, but Will Fuller really was the guy that made that offense go, and their defense isn't very good. So the Colts really should. The Colts are in the playoff hunt. The Texans aren't. Let's be obvious about that. So the Colts really should win this, and Frank Reich is a great coach. They should easily win this game and demolish the Texans.
Yeah, John, you must have been reading my mind or something, because you said exactly where my mind was going with that. Is they lose Will Fuller, and that's my biggest thing. Is look, I already like this Colts team in terms of they're a decent team. They're not a great team. They are a little bit, I would call them pretenders almost, but they're still a decent team. The defense is solid enough that it can get it done. I wouldn't call them a playoff team like a legitimate contender, but a decent team. And when you have the Texans who have not been playing great, and you take away Deshaun Watson's number 1 guy in Will Fuller, I don't trust that offense enough. Brandon Cooks not doing much. David Johnson, again, not much. He doesn't really have weapons on the offense. And Will Fuller had been unbelievable. But now being suspended for the rest of this season, and I believe one game into next season as well. That's going to hurt Deshaun Watson when you lose your top guy, of course. And because of that, I like the way that the Colts offense has been as of recent, and I don't like what I'm going to see from this Texans offense. So I'm rolling with the Colts as well.
Another reason why they're my lock of the week, quick shout out to linebacker Matthew Adams of the Colts. He was ejected last week for punching a player during a special teams play, actually. But I bring him up because a few years ago, I was in Cabo, Mexico with my girlfriend. We were in one of those like pools drinking tequila, and I see this extremely jacked dude. And he's just chilling at the poolside. And I go, he must play football. Because he just, you see someone he looks like. So I go over, I say, what's up? He goes, hey, I'm a rookie. I play for the Colts. My name's Matthew Adams. So I just want to give a quick shout out to him. He got ejected for punching a guy.
That's an awesome story.
Awesome story. And then I think after he punched the guy, he went on Twitter and he said something about how he wanted to practice boxing. Actually, the boxing thing he tweeted before the game even started. So he knew he was going to be throwing hands. But I like the toughness of him. I like the toughness of Darius Leonard, who's one of the best linebackers in the league. Colts -3. Put it in the books. John, you finished 2-2 last week, correct?
Yes, I did.
All right, so you're going to give us your lock of the week next.
Yeah, I have Green Bay. Green Bay's a fantastic team. They're -9 at home. I know that's a lot whenever it comes to trying to cover. It's a lot of points. But Philly is a really bad team. As we saw, they had so many opportunities to really win that game against the Seahawks. They stopped them so many times on 4th down to start the game. And when your defense gives you a chance like that, we saw how bad that offense is, how bad the play calling is. And there's talent. Yeah, Jake had mentioned on our other show that there is talent on that offense. But as we saw with the Cleveland Browns last year, talent alone doesn't win you games. So this team is really bad. There's something wrong. There's something internally wrong with this team. I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong. And in Green Bay, as you saw what they did to the Chicago Bears, who are not a good team with a much better defense than the Eagles, they demolished them. And that's exactly what Packers are going to do. They're going to take care of business and roll right through the Eagles as though this was a get-right game. So Packers easily, even though it's -9, I got Green Bay at home.
I like that. I'm with you, John. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, I've said it many a time and I will keep saying it. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. He is, he's special. I don't know how else to describe it. He's special. And look, I don't like this Eagles offense. I've talked about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is not good. Carson Wentz is just, I don't know what's going on with him, but it seems like every week he just plays worse and worse and worse, and I don't trust him. Now, I mentioned on our other show, there is talent on that Eagles offense, and I do agree. I still stand by that. But most of that talent outside of Miles Sanders are receivers. And if your quarterback can't get the ball downfield to the receivers, it doesn't matter. And I don't trust Carson Wentz, even if it comes to out-dueling Aaron Rodgers, which it won't. But even if it did, I do not trust him. I see Aaron Rodgers and the Packers winning by at least 2 touchdowns, if not more. They're gonna say, "Bye, Philly." They're gonna say they'll show up and say, "All right, game over, done." Gonna kill them. Spencer, what do you think?
Stephen A. Smith, I like the breakdown. I like that you called him a bad man. I see you on First Take a lot with Max Kellerman. I'm a big fan of your work. So I just want to start by saying that. For like the purpose of the radio show, I just tried to think of ways I can argue that the Eagles will cover this 9 points, and I can't. I mean, this is a team in total disarray. The coach doesn't want to bench the quarterback. The public hates the quarterback. The quarterback's playing terrible. The coach is coaching terribly. It was a huge backdoor cover against the Seahawks last week. I mean, good on them to lose by 6 instead of, I guess they were down 14. But no, I don't see, and they're 1-4 on the road too. Their away record is just terrible. I think the Packers are going to blow them out. I mean, it just seems that the Packers have been kind of getting lucky with their schedule this year. They have not played a lot of hard games, which is why I think a lot of people are quickly putting the Seahawks and the Saints ahead of them in the power rankings. But no, I don't see how the Eagles can be within 10 points in this game. I think Rodgers will put him away. The one thing I'll say is that the Eagles do have a formidable defense that can get to Rodgers a little bit, but I think he'll throw the ball quickly. I can see this being like a 28-14 game Packers. JB?
So this is a Green Bay special. This is what Green Bay does. They're going to destroy the Eagles, beat up on an inferior team. When the Eagles play a good team, the only good team they've beaten this year is the Saints. You know, you look at their losses. They got killed by Indianapolis. They got killed by Tampa Bay, and they lost the game to Minnesota. The only good team on their schedule that they've beaten is New Orleans, which, you know, they gotta play against good teams, but against the weak teams, Aaron Rodgers and that team does what they need to do. I don't see any problems with it. I don't think this is going to be close. Just watch out for the backdoor cover. The Eagles will do just enough to stay around, but if you're betting, maybe tease, although you don't like to tease a game with a favorite, but you know, I don't see Green Bay have much of a problem with this game.
All right, JB, you were 1-3 last week. Who is your lock of the week?
So I'm going with the Titans. You know, Derrick Henry, 3 touchdowns last week. They destroyed the Colts. The Colts just were MIA. Huge win for them. They righted their ship. This week, you know, they have a tough game. They're going against the Cleveland Browns. Both teams are 8-3. The Titans are at home. You know, when you look at Baker Mayfield, he's having a good year, probably the best year of his career. But Tannehill's doing well. You got, you know, 2 good running games here. But I think when it's all said and done and you look at it, Tennessee's just a little bit better of a team, and they're going to step up and, you know, cover the 5.5 point spread. And I think their defense is just a little bit better. John?
Yeah, this one's easy. This is Tennessee all the way. We had talked last week about how Cleveland's coming back down to earth, and they really didn't look great against Jacksonville with Mike Glennon in. And Baker Mayfield before last week hadn't thrown a touchdown since week 7. The last 2 games he's thrown touchdowns in against the Bengals and Jaguars. Other than that, he hasn't really thrown touchdowns against anybody. He's not playing the Jaguars or Bengals this week, and I don't believe in him at all. They got the run game, which is pretty good, yes, but you got to be able to throw the ball in today's NFL, and they're going to get – somebody's going to get them, and this is the week that they're going to get hammered, and they're going to come back down to earth. 8-3, they're overachieving a lot. In Tennessee, what they just did to a great Colts defense, Tennessee should really smack the Browns around and put them back in their place. So Tennessee all the way.
I hope the Browns are listening to me because I am very annoyed with them. After last week, I had them as my lock of the week, not even just a pick, my full lock of the week. And I said, oh, they'll cover, they'll kill Jacksonville. No, they didn't. Instead, they lost, and you know, like in terms of betting, they win by, I believe it was 2 points. I believe it was 27-25. I'm never trusting the Browns again in terms of gambling. I refuse. Not happening. I picked them one time, clearly a mistake. I'm trusting the Titans. Titans are a great team. They, you know, a lot of people said last season, oh, maybe this is a fluke with Tannehill. Maybe he's just having, you know, he's coming into a good situation and he's just getting things done now, but he won't be able to continue it. He's proved everybody wrong. Tannehill has been unbelievable. Him and Derrick Henry are a really awesome combination to have. You know, you have a quarterback that revives his career and has played really great football. You have, you know, King Henry, as we call him, because that's what he is. I mean, last week was just an unbelievable showing. And I'm not expecting Henry to have another crazy week like that, but he takes over games, and Tannehill can really sling the ball with the way he's played. I'm trusting in the Titans. And at 5.5, I feel very confident with this team. Spenser?
So a few things come to mind. The first thing is, would you rather, and all 3 of you can answer this, get hit by a moving truck or try to tackle Derrick Henry in the open field?
Pretty sure
A truck.
Yeah, truck.
Either one's a truck. Either one is a truck.
Truck, yeah.
Truck.
Yeah, I choose the truck too. I think it's a no-brainer. Also, Jake, in addition to Tannehill and Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown is turning into one of the best receivers in football. I mean, he's right. His performance was right below Metcalf and Tyreek Hill because they stole the show on Sunday. But A.J. Brown has been a warrior these last few weeks. It is fun to watch him play. So I'm looking at the Browns games, who they've beaten, who they've lost to. Their biggest win was against the Colts. They won the game by a point. And I just, they haven't played anybody else. My problem with them is they're not battle tested, and Tennessee is battle tested. Tennessee has beaten good teams. They've lost to good teams, but 5.5 is a lot. And Tennessee is home, which means Vegas is saying they're 8.5 points better than the Browns. I don't think they are. And even though all these stats, everything I'm reading and seeing says Titans easily covering that 5.5, my gut's telling me go with the Browns. Because for some reason, I don't think they're 8.5 points worse than the Titans. I think they cover. I think it's going to be a close game. I can see a winning field goal by the Titans. Maybe they win by 4 points because someone scores a touchdown late. But I think the Browns will cover this 5.5.
I wanted to give a little stat on Derrick Henry before we move on to the next one. Derrick Henry's in his 5th season, so he hasn't played 5 full seasons yet. He just broke 5,000 yards this past Sunday. He's already 33% of the way to Barry Sanders total in his career, basically. So 33% of the way there, and he hasn't even played 5 full seasons. Derrick Henry is a monster, and he could very well come for Emmitt Smith if he stays healthy and his shelf life stays up. Just a little fun fact for you.
Him, Jerome Bettis, and Marshawn Lynch are 3 of the most powerful running backs I've ever had the pleasure of watching. Jake, you finished 0-4 last week. Not a great week for you. Why don't you give us your lock of the week?
Yeah, I pulled a John.
Yes, we won't let you forget this one.
And deservedly so. We didn't let you forget yours. So
these weeks happen, boys. These weeks happen.
This happens. But look, last week I took a little bit of a riskier bet, I guess you could say. I trusted the Browns. This week I'm taking the safe bet. I'm picking the Raiders. They play the Jets. I mean, that really speaks for itself. You got the Jets against basically anybody. Generally, you can feel comfortable taking whoever the Jets opponent is. It's a pretty easy no-brainer usually. Raiders are on a bounce back this week. They had a terrible week last week against Atlanta. I mean, it wasn't even like remotely close. It was pathetic.
We're not bringing that up. We're not talking about the Raiders last week. They took the week off. I don't know where they were. They were off, but go ahead.
Right. They took the week off, and they're going to come back this week. It was an extra bye week for them. Against the Jets, look, if you're going to have a bad week and, have a week where you have to come back and play well, this is, you talk about the perfect storm. You lose badly, and you got like the easiest opponent possible to come back and win big. I see the Raiders absolutely crushing the Jets like everybody else does because they're the Jets and Adam Gase is the coach. Doesn't really make for a winning recipe. So Raiders that's going to be not even close if you ask me. Spencer, what do you think?
Did anybody see the Adam Gase press conference when they were asking him about who's calling the plays?
Yes.
Oh my God, that was comedy at its finest. He's saying, he's calling the plays. I'm calling them on 3rd down, and I took over in the 2nd and 3rd. It was bizarre, but
I need to break out the clown nose for the 2nd straight week. I really do.
Oh my goodness. The fact that he still has a job in New York is absolutely terrifying if you're a Jets fan. But Jake,
job, period. Anyway,
Jake, I'm with you. Raiders all the way. I don't care that Sam Darnold's coming back. The Jets have 0 to play for. In fact, I think they're trying to lose at this point. They're such a lost cause, and the Raiders are going to blow them out of the water. I like the Raiders with the 8 points. JB, what about you?
I don't even see how this is on the NFL schedule. I mean, this is more like, a high school team against an NFL team. Why are the Jets still playing?
You mean they're not flexing this game to the Sunday night game?
Why are the Jets still playing? The Jets should just forfeit. It's just a waste of time. And it's horrible for the people in the New York market that they get stuck, with this being one of the games that they have to watch.
Hey, at least they have the first place Giants now. They can say that.
We're not even going to talk about that as a Giant fan. We need 2 wins. But anyway, Raiders, unfortunately, but, who knows with the Jets? I can see them covering it. But I'll go Raiders. John?
Yeah, I have the Jets covering this one, actually. 7.5 points is a lot. They're at home. And Josh Jacobs is banged up. We don't know if he's going to play. He probably will, but you might rest him if you're the Raiders because you're playing the Jets. going on the road, and you really don't need him because Booker's played really well. That's at least what I would think if you're the coach, you're Gruden for the Raiders. You're like, it's Jets. We can really rest our best player. And I think even though Darnold came back against the Dolphins, who didn't play well, and he's back here, Darnold does have his full complement of weapons, and the Raiders' defense isn't great. That the cornerbacks and the safeties aren't great. So I really think the Jets, like JB said, can end up backdoor covering on this one. 7.5. I think that they easily could cover this and cost some people some money.
All right. No Jeff Cadillac this week, guys. So let's give our remaining picks and wrap up. I will start. I had the Falcons +3. My lock of the week is the Colts -3. I also like the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are they're +3 against the Rams. I do not like the Rams right now. I think they're trending in a downward direction. The Cardinals have not been playing well. I like Kyler Murray to have a huge bounce-back game. He looked terrible against the Patriots. I can see them really airing this ball out. Stay away from Jalen Ramsey. Keep Kyler Murray away from Aaron Donald. I can see this being a 28-25 game. Cardinals are going to win, and they'll definitely cover the 3 points. The other game I like this week is your New York Football Giants are 10-point underdogs against the Seahawks. Jake and JB, I don't care that they're on the road. Guys, this Giants defense is for real. Okay, they're going to make Russell Wilson sweat a little bit. They have the capability to do that. I love Blake Martinez, our linebacker. I heard his pregame speech last week. I was pumped up. Our front four are big, tough guys. They're going to make Russell Wilson's life tough on Sunday. And I don't think that the Giants are going to win, John. I see your look, and I don't think it's going to be a very close game, but I don't think they're going to get blown out. I think they're going to keep it within single digits. Colt McCoy will throw a touchdown here or there. Wayne Gallman will run for one. They'll put up 17, 20 points, but the Seahawks will eventually win. But the Giants will cover. Those are my 4 picks. JB?
Yeah, as we said, I got the Saints. I think they're just a better team. We went over the Titans. Pittsburgh, Monday night, playing the Washington football team. They might as well be playing soccer against the Steelers. They're not going to score many points. And the Colts are going to come back this week. They took the week off with the Raiders. They went to Cabo. They're both coming back this week. They're probably going to win, so I got the Colts -3. John?
Yeah, as I mentioned, my lock of the week, Green Bay. New Orleans +3. Tennessee -5.5. And then the Chargers over the Pats, 1-point favorite. The Chargers should win this game. I know the Pats won against the Cardinals, but the Chargers are due for a win. They had a tough loss. And Anthony Lynn needs to step up for his job, so I'm going with Chargers as my other pick.
I have the Saints, as we talked about before. My lock of the week with the Raiders. I am with Spenser on this. I like the Cardinals on the bounce back. Both teams in that game are on a bounce back, but I trust Kyler Murray and those Cardinals a lot more. And I'm with John as well. I like the Chargers. That's just a pick 'em at that point. And I prefer Justin Herbert. Austin Eckler's back, and he looked awesome in his return. Between him, Herbert, and Keenan Allen, might as well call that a game already. I think that's it for us. I just wanted to say a quick shout out to Heater Sports for our lines. Thank you to them. JB, you were going to say something?
I was going to do the wrap up.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll just continue. But yeah, that's really it for Journey with the Jays. Be sure to check us out on Real 1100 AM radio in Atlanta. We have another show that we do on Thursday night. It goes on at 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you find, wherever social medias you use. And I think that's it for Journey with the Jays. So everybody enjoy your day of football and go Falcons and go whatever other teams you're watching.